West Point quarters. What are they and why are they important? Welcome back to Coin Mojo. Last week I put out a video about the Great American Coin Hut. West Point quarters in 2019 and 2020, the Mint introduced the W West Point minted quarter for circulation. It's the first time in history that they've done this. In 2019, they added the W to the regular general circulating population, and they produced 2 million of each of these quarters. In 2020, they followed up with the V75, commemorating the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II. So also another historic thing to happen to circulating coin. As a result, I took to the banks and I started searching quarters for the first time. I never had luck with quarters, but adding this West Point quarter, which are somewhat valuable, I took to it, and as a result, not only did I find West Point quarters, but I found silver, one or two here and there. In addition, I found error coins like In God We Rust, and I also found this, the Washington Crossing Delaware Crown error, which is a huge die chip being found here in Michigan primarily. There are other versions of that being found in other parts of the country, but not quite as big. I found dozens of S-minted proof quarters and a couple other glad errors here. If you like this video, at the end, please give me those 4 clicks, like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications. I'm going to run through the quarters that I personally pulled from circulation. And again, due to the pandemic, I had to cut my coin roll hunting adventures off because the banks were closed. We couldn't get in the lobbies. So while these quarters sat in the vaults, gathering dust, waiting for me to find them, I sat at home. And so that first group was Tall Grass Prairie. I found 7 of those. I found 13 of the Marsh Billing Rockefellers, 7 of the Salt River Bay. I found only 1 Weir Farm. I found 11 of the National Park of American Samoa, which are affectionately known as the Back Quarter, 1 San Antonio Mission, 1 Warren Pacific. I found 0 River of No Returns, 9 American Memorial Park, and 3 of the Lowell quarters. The Marsh Billings Rockefeller was probably one of the most prolific ones that I found here in Michigan. And I do want to say that the bulk of the quarters that I did find seemed to be in fairly good condition. I would have to say only 1 or 2 of them were really scratched up. Most of the ones that I did find, they still had quite a bit of mint luster. And I technically, when I'm searching a roll of quarters, I lay them out into my hand and look at the edges first. I'll pull all the shiny edges aside, search the rest of the roll, and weed out anything that may have any value to look for. Set those aside. Then I go through and do the deep dive on each quarter, looking for the West Point mint marks or a San Francisco mint. Obviously, a silver quarter will jump right out at you on the edges. Looking for mint errors is a very tedious thing. You need a magnifying glass or a microscope, and you got to know what to look for. I did find some of the In God We Rust, which is basically the T in trust gets washed out by the grease when they grease the dies to extend their lives. The grease will fill the letters, and in this case, for some reason, many of the, I think it's the on the front of the coin, it'll say In God We Trust, and the T again is washed out, and for some reason it was on that one particular Philadelphia minted quarter quite prominently. Another one is the Spitting Horse, which I found several of those. And So here's the only San Antonio Mission and the only War in the Pacific that I found. Additional errors are the bottom of the cactus. The artist's letters are covered up by a dyed chip. That seems to be pretty common. I think it's the Arizona quarter, state quarter, and then the there's one more that I find. Oh, the bear claw. It seems like I find those 1 out of 10. The sixth claw on the bear's paw. It seems to be that one right there was looked like the most rattiest condition one. These American Memorial Park, I've actually sold 4 or 5 of those on eBay already myself because they're still getting $30 to $40. And the rest of these coins have come down quite a bit in price. I kind of missed the boat. Here's an image of the River of No Return, the elusive River of No Return for me here in Michigan. So if you're doing West Point quarters and you found some, go ahead and comment how many you found and how many you search. Let me know how you're doing. Thanks again for tuning in. Coin Mojo out.